Hello and welcome to Tabletalkers, Band of Iron. Last time, the Band of Iron proceeded toward the center of the Forbidden Zone. As they began to get closer, they started to see Imperial vessels bombarding something with a honestly hilarious amount of magical energies. There was a close encounter with some large, inky, black void monster, but everything ended up fine. Oh yeah, I forgot. Upon crossing the boundary of the Forbidden Zone, everybody that had parasitic remnant in them needed to leave or die. So the band took a pretty big hit to its membership. But upon getting closer to the Imperial blockade, a runner appeared and persuaded the leadership of the band to meet with them on one of the Imperial vessels. We will bring the camera in right as people have gathered together and are about to head that way. As far as leadership goes, I'm assuming it's basically you guys, along with Lucas, right?
Yeah.
I think you said you all wanted to be there together. How do you embark upon their vessel?
We have a flying carpet.
Yes. It's tattered
So
and
it's
raggedy and burnt to shit.
But it's still working for us.
This is true. I just don't recommend loose change.
If it's just the four of us,
5.
I was doing a count in my head, the five of us, then flying over on the carpet should be fine, I think. At least Jodek would offer it as a mode of transportation.
I can fly.
Up to Vashnir. Realistically speaking, right now, you've stumbled upon something that they aren't technically supposed to be doing.
Who?
The Empire.
Why are they not supposed to be doing it?
International bullshit.
Oh. I give a fuck.
Ah.
It's helping. It seems to be helping the war efforts. So, yes, I could. Hush, hush. I guess we embark. Goes on to the ship.
Okie dokie. Carpet away. You fly over, land on the deck. The other side of the ship is just absolutely bombarding stuff. You see people over by those... They look a lot like the Illithid cannons that I think you've seen before. I can't quite recall all that you've done in this playthrough.
Jodek, we have seen it before because we used it
Okay.
once on the ship.
Yeah, that's right. Your squid ship has some cannons. So, looks a lot like those things, but they seem retrofitted to do other stuff. They're not just big ballista like you have on yours. Though it does seem that the people manning those cannons swap out fairly regularly, and whenever they're walking away, they don't exactly look well. But as you land, officer individual will run over to you and greet you, which I guess I'll now shift to character. Vashnir, Band of Iron, right?
Correct.
They have words for you at the officer's table, if you'll be joining us. We don't exactly 100% know your purpose here.
I shall join you. Or we shall join you.
Before you do that, though, could you state why you are here?
Information that's something that in here. Woke back up. We came to hopefully stop it.
And if I may ask, where did you acquire this information from?
Scouts. Correct? Yeah, we had scouts. Scouts.
No.
We have scouts? I thought we had scouts that were like over here somewhere.
Nah, this is absolutely Jodak was like, I feel like we've made a mistake. And now you're here.
I shall go with scouts.
Make a
Because
deception check, because that's a lie, buddy.
Deception. Where's my deception? It is right there. Is a 16 high enough?
It's definitely a good roll. Thaddeus, I forgot your host's name. Could you tell me?
My host name?
Yes.
Callahan?
Ormond?
Normand. Yes, Normand.
Forgot your last name.
I changed my last name to be his last name. I just need to open my sheet.
Anyway,
Yep. Alright, I'll give it to you in a minute.
it doesn't really matter. His eyes are going to shift from you to Jodak, and then back to you. Alright. Anyway, right this way. People are waiting.
What was that?
It was Teledor.
Teledor?
Yeah, Teledor.
Okay.
Can I insight that? Like why? What?
Sure. Fuck it. We're rolling dice today, baby.
Hey, he just eyed me and then my other commander down. That's kind of sus. Good thing my insight's high.
Your statement was kinda
Okay.
sus too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but I wasn't eyeing him and then eyeing his other commander down.
Well, do keep in mind, Yorman, Jodak's host, is Imperial Navy.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
With that, I'd say you think that he might know Jodak's deal.
Shit. As I say to myself in my own head.
But he'll wave you both forward and head toward the, inner parts of the ship.
I thought I had people like kind of scout the area after that shit went down. They told me, yeah, they're back.
Pretty sure it's just been Jodak and messaging people. I don't think you've...
I got
Like, you're spearheading your own forces. So you're the first of your guys to get here. Really.
I thought when I found the news that, you know, he got sent back. Oh, we should have some people down there just to make sure things don't get weird again.
Did I ever say they
Yeah.
returned?
I'm not sure, but if they didn't come back, I would assume that weird stuff had started up again. So it wasn't a complete lie. It was just after the fact.
Anyway. You head to the officers' quarters. As you head inside, probably the most egregious is You see the Emperor, his normal white and red, and now a pitch black violet. And also, Jodak, you see some people that you recognize from your people. Not exactly Callahan, but some of his, like, personal squad members.
My people, not Jorman's people.
Yeah. Yes.
My people. They're sitting here peacefully, which means things have really gone wrong.
Hello, you all. If you would please take a seat.
I shall take a seat.
I'll stand behind Vashner.
I'll take a seat.
I'll be taking a seat next to Vashner.
Looking at the Emperor's armor, it's almost like whenever there's a weird, like, shimmer around him. There's like a weird refraction happening. Kind of like the effects of the new Invisible Woman that they're coming out with. Alright, so that I can get caught up, what all are you aware of? Or rather, so I can catch you all up in as quickly as possible.
It seems the worms, I guess, are waking back up, and whatever's controlling them is back.
He'll nod.
And it seems I would go ahead and assume that they are more aggressive.
Well, they're
Seeing that's
targeted
how-
and not necessarily fighting each other now. At least not very well.
Yes, and some of my men who had them still in their heads, but they were, I guess, dormant. When we passed over, they had died.
So the barrier field is still functioning. That's good and bad news. I guess mostly good, technically.
I believe that is everything that I know so far.
He'll nod. He'll look at Jodak. Any additional information? One of Callahan's guys will nod, like, as a, it's okay.
The previous individual that was tantamount to stopping this threat may or may not be spearheading this current revival of this infection. Without the secondary influence that was keeping them sane and stable.
Okay. Where did that piece of information come from? And do you have anything to expand upon it?
I happened to be with him in a different plane and watched his eyes go black and him disappear into a pool of dark sludge.
Was there a precursor to this?
He has to be younger.
Did they take a potion?
So I requested Tidori over there to turn back his body age. Or rather, he made the request of Tidori after I mentioned it.
Why are
What's
you
that?
looking at me? Why do you look at me?
I feel that it's necessary to mention that. Mention your influence based on how this came to be.
The Emperor eyes still on Jodak. Is that just something that he can do?
There's a lot of things that I can do. Yes.
By what means?
Well, the corrupted form of life is still life. It's just fucked up. So I can change and depose and fix and mutilate and mutate and all that I please, as far as I can tell. The
Some
full
sort of...
extent of my ability. The full extent of my ability is beyond my time limit to understand.
Is this simply some dark follower boon, or what?
I spoke directly to the devilish god of life and got my boon from him. I am what is known as his champion, with no strings attached, saving the fact that I die 6 months after we solve this crystal plague.
I'm supposing you acquired that instead of the infernal army that was spoken of?
I did not bring the army because I am the army. And my
So,
father was
yes.
dead.
I would say my condolences, but how you delivered that, you sounded almost happy. In
Well,
the
he did
most
try to kill my
macabre way.
little sister. So, he was going to sacrifice my little sister to said god to gain ultimate power, and nearly succeeded. Had I not been there.
So a demonic champion infused a parasitic host with what equates to divine energy, and then it immediately scampered off here.
Well, I was not aware that this individual was still under the effects of the parasitic host. So what I did was revert that individual to their prime days. Apparently, the parasitic host had something keeping it from being what it is now. Back in those days that is no longer there. So it just reverted back to this.
That could actually be of assistance. What you described there makes me think that it may be a new strain, created by you on accident. Instead
Most
of
likely.
the already existing variations that we knew about in this pit.
From what I understand from stories, the individual had two. He had a parasite and then something that was stopping the parasite from being the parasite problem that everybody else had. And not knowing that that was still a part of his being, when I reverted him back, like I said, he reverted back to just the parasitic problem, not the other thing. And when they came, because I assume when they came here to deal with the original parasitic threat, he infected the hosts with his whatever virus thing. I do not know nor understand the full scope of how it happened. I was not there.
Ignoring the variations that you've mentioned, because they do not seem to be infighting amongst themselves. But if you have created a different divine host type strain for this thing than what it already had, that is what may be causing it to do what it's currently doing. At current, the one that all these things are coming from was the being of law. But it sounds like you've imbued it with some being of life.
Quite possibly.
Of the two, I think we
Again.
have to trust the spider.
Again, I know not the full scope of my power.
Well,
Nor do I
don't
have
do
the
it
time to
again.
figure it out.
I do not think that we can manage it. Another one of these instances.
I'm not going to infect people that are parasitic in nature. No, why would I do that?
I don't think you intended to do it the first time.
No, I meant to fix an ailing, dying old elf. Whose allies left him to die and rot, supposedly.
So what is currently happening is there is an expedition to get down to the core of the corruption. As the tales may say, it is in fact the remains of an old god. Remains, quotation marks.
You mentioned being of law, so the remains of a god of law.
Yes. At least that's what the scholars say.
What are these, just maggots feasting on his corpse? Or something?
In a way. I don't know if we really have time for a history lesson, but the thing came from wherever it was, landed on one of the godlike beings that were here. And then God Wars, and then crystal stuff. If you've looked things up.
It's like we're trying to restart the whole goddamn thing all over again. Goo, plague, crystal thread, and gods coming all back to life. With these fucking stones.
Well, one is still on the way, but it would definitely not help us if a different one is set to rampage again.
It was a macabre joke.
It's a macabre reality.
Yeah.
So, how up for heroic bullshit do you lot feel like being?
Since it's our fault, my fault, as much as you need. Everything that every power at my disposal, including my limited immortality, is yours to command.
Fashioners.
What about Vashtir? Jodak?
He's saying it's
You're saying
Vashnirs to
Vashnirs
command.
to command.
Yes, Vashtir does tell me what to do, and his orders do take precedence, but if the Emperor has a better solution than Vashtir at this current moment, I don't think Vashtir is going to disagree. Do you?
I'm not trying to provoke any infighting amongst possibly the best chance I have.
Oh, I'm not trying to infight. I'm just saying whatever solution is currently available, as you've been dealing with this threat longer than we have. And the last time they dealt with this threat, as far as I'm aware, they came in, fucked some shit up, and ran away. Which is fair. Not saying anything negative. Just at some stage, if you have a better idea of how to deal with this, I think we're going to be all ears. Right, Vashtir?
Correct. I'm here to put wrong back to right.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, and at that Jodak, you will feel your stone warm and begin to emit light.
I just got enough reason to pull it out.
That came from here, correct?
Yes. As I'm aware, there's one still living god who gave this to me.
So you might have the best chance of ensuring that that one wins and helps in the ensuing chaos to come. If not the only chance.
That is the hope. But who am I to tell you how God would react?
Well, do you feel as though you've made good ingress with the thing that you have?
They do not seem to be opposed to my actions,
Let me say it another way.
so I would believe so.
Have you utilized it in such a way that you believe you can depend on it?
Yes, I do believe so.
I guess we'll hope that it goes both ways. At current, we are bombarding the shit out of the primary escape passage for those things, so that they do not immediately overrun everything. Deeper in the hole, Callahan and an advanced team have been trying to make some progress to get down there, but it has been tricky, to say the least. My hope is that other individuals endowed with these stones, such as you, may be able to get down there, forge their path inward, and through one way or another, cause this entity to be at peace again. Even if it is the peace of death. Sadly, I cannot provide you with much information, save what we have been reported from the hole via Callahan and his people. They've been nigh constant fighting the entire way down there. It's not great.
Do you know if their reactions are the same as they were the last time they surged like this?
Don't believe it's surged like this before, save...
Well, the last time we had to deal with it.
Well, the last time you dealt with it, it was at relative peace. And then you made them go to infighting with each other, which prevented them from expanding outward. Outside of some dumb motherfuckers over in Kinglegrad, not much of it has gone anywhere else.
The way you said that, I feel like they're selling hearts.
They had
I
found
feel like
some
it-
control nodes, smuggled them out somehow, and then proceeded to give the parasite itself as a mass mind control virus, essentially. Though I will say, Diakov is well and united now, mainly under your father, save for those excluded up in the mountains. Really, I guess it brought us you.
Not happy.
Say again.
Maybe not happy.
Fair enough. Above table. The demon child, eh?
Doesn't want to go to sleep right now.
I get you.
What was that last part? Like,
I was just pointing out your child is Engie. Or were you asking for what was said last in character?
yeah, what was that? Like, Grammy trying to put her down to sleep, and I was still like hearing her a little bit.
I see. They basically said nothing's escaped or really flared up since some idiots over in Kinglegrad caused the problem. But that problem also united Diakov and brought you here.
Now that it did.
But as per your question, Jodak, records do not exist of the last time these things flared up. There were god beasts roaming around at the time.
To be more specific, I was worried if we had to be more concerned about how they were dealing with them. I believe if we attacked them from different sources, they would react in some way, explode if we try to use anything that was radiant.
Oh, all those
burn
traits are
faster
still
than
present.
fire. They're still the same.
It's the same creature.
I didn't know if they received some sort of modification.
No, most of the bioforms seem to fall upon the same problems that they've always had. They had a reason to bring in the Crystal Plague. When they brought it in, it just got away from them.
Hopefully we can deal with this before we have to deal with the plague.
Well, that's why I'm telling you guys to go down to the main bioform and figure something out.
Right.
It is difficult to kill a god. So much so that I do not have an answer for it, outside of the same one that the ancestors did. And that's its own problem.
What did the ancestors do?
They brought the
Their
Crystal Plague.
ancestors- Oh. I hope they had a better solution.
It worked.
It worked, but now it's still threatening us now,
Well, they hope to catch.
however many years later.
I feel like that was needlessly argumentative.
Right, we should head out to go and kill a god, I suppose.
Well, the idea is to help you do that. Vashner seems a bit vacant at the moment.
I'm here.
Do any of you have, well, fine then. Do any of you have anything you would like to add or suggest? Alright,
It does not appear so.
glad for the conversation.
Unless you know the whereabouts of the holder of the gem that's bound to this god in particular, assuming that they have one.
What?
And it's not me.
That's you.
Oh, I hoped it would be a different god.
Jodak, it came from...
He's a little dumb sometimes. You have to give him a little bit of credit.
He said it came from the remains of a god of law. I assume that god was dead and was revived by them somehow. That's why I gave the analogy to maggots.
It's really hard to kill a god. Their aspect would start to degrade. And given how that one's order, you ever see what happens when molecules get separated and fly off on their own?
Yes?
No?
I can give you a demonstration.
If it's as bad as he's suggesting, I don't think that's a good idea.
Disintegration, but everywhere all at once.
I see.
But if that god were to die in such a way, given that the encroaching infestation is of life origin, it would take its place.
Not the best idea.
If there is only one enemy, it will stop. And that is also not what I would prefer happen.
I could probably revert Kieran back to a stage before he got the infection, but I would need to touch him to do so.
At the stage that things seem that they are in, it was more likely that that would simply corrupt you.
I give it its best shot.
I am certain it would, but... let's not do that.
Because they're both aspects from the same god, they might not be able to affect each other.
It's a corruption of a corrupted version of the god.
And given that it's came here and not tried to do its other stuff, I think I can assume that the corruption itself may be a bit, maybe just a wee bit stronger overall.
Probably.
But trying to touch and take away it from him, we would likely just end up with a superpowered you completely under its control.
That's not a good idea for anybody.
So, do you have anything else for us?
Well, given what I have said now, have any of you came up with a plan other than jump in the hole and see how it goes?
Overarchingly, what is the best way to, if there is a way to, separate an entity from a host?
At the time, with what I have seen, I believe that our best course of action would be for Jodak to empower the original one, allowing it to defeat the new strain, and, hopefully, bring back the parts of itself that still remain. At least for a time. You are its chosen.
I do not wish for the innocent that is Kieran to die in this kerfuffle. It is my fault he is here.
Live with that.
I live with enough, don't you think?
Well, if there's nothing else to be suggested, then we need to look at options for getting you down there. We can, of course, continue to bombard, likely clear enough away for you to be able to enter the proper cave system from which it emerges from. And it is likely that Callahan's unit's still down there somewhere. And they may have more information than I have. Perhaps even a direction for your final destination. Bashnir?
No, just thinking.
Well, voice your thoughts. Because once we go, there's really no stopping.
All we can do is really just try our best to go with this idea of yours if we can save them. I'm sure we'll try everything we can.
That path will result in the obliteration of the one that Tadori has infused. I understand they were your friend.
So there is no
There.
saving it.
Well, at this time, they're talking to Bashnir.
There. So there is no saving their soul. Saving their body.
We haven't found any evidence that it corrupts the soul.
When he teleported away, he was not himself. It not only took his body, but it also took his mind. Now, whereas soul is involved in that, I cannot say. But everything he was after what I did was not Kieran, as far as I had known him, which was very brief and limited, but still.
If I recall correctly, the plan for if the crystal plague does in fact infect this world is to essentially eliminate all magic. Can you do that in a smaller space?
Pretty sure that's an all or nothing.
Let me eliminate all magic in like an area, but around the person, perhaps.
Not including... It works a different way. Time is pressing, but I suppose the quick and dirty of it is... Most of the magical energies come from the crystalline entity, save for the few spots from which the gods can still channel theirs. Stopping things involves turning it all off. It is a planar lock. It's also not ready. And at this point in time, there being a functioning godlike being down there, if it were to survive long enough, it would single-handedly take over and control everything in a short amount of time. So that plan is a no-go. I had hoped for a slightly more back-and-forth conversation.
Have you consulted with the Ags in Talica?
They are...
Their magic is from a different source than typical magic. So
no. I will not say what our relationship is to them, nor will I divulge the truth of their situation. But at this time, they are not likely to be of assistance in this matter.
see.
Oh, fuck.
I guess the last thing I can ask about is the green anti-parasitic powder that we used previously. Could you derive a base from that to eliminate the influences on Karen?
We do not have the time.
I didn't believe so. It took us a month or so to get it from the alchemist in Villeneuve the first time.
That is the last remaining part of the Crystal Plague that is actively helping us. The part that we managed to control and turn it toward that. The problem is, that was made when it was fully here. So we cannot create more until it is fully here again. I'm sorry about your friend, but we are trying to save the world.
Saying it's just a regrettable situation. Would it possibly just freeze him in time until...
Until they get loose again later? After the plague has come back? And possibly after we have lost access to all of its magic? Restarting this incident?
Yes, that's fair. Understandable. I was just looking for any avenue of approach, anything that we could possibly do to save him.
Seems all we could do now is grant him mercy.
Is there any equipment you lot believe you will require that we have on hand? Did you bring anything to help your infiltration?
I have no need of anything to help with my infiltrating processes.
Above table.
Unless
Don't forget
you-
about your tanks.
Huh? Oh yeah, we stole 2 tanks. Or acquired 2 tanks.
Oh. Neat.
We have we each have a couple of acid vials.
Say again?
We have the acid vials.
I think they can probably provide that if you ask for some.
I
Have some, but I count 8. I don't know. I should like everybody get 8. Like the crew.
I'm good. I don't need it. But thank you.
Do you have any sort of weapon that can throw acid?
Are you asking me?
No, not you. Preferably over a area.
Are you above game? Are you asking for an acid flamethrower?
Similar, yes, too similar to a flamethrower.
We have some,
If I
but the potency of it is likely not enough to deal with the things that are down there. Infector forms? Sure. Destroyer forms? It is likely you have things on hand that will do better than what you're asking for there.
still need to decide and find a way to get down there in the first place.
It's no coming back up until after you succeed. So, you need to be prepared before you go in there. There are too
there
many realities
anything-
where you fail.
Is there anything inhibiting teleportation in this area?
Yes and no. What do you mean?
For example, if we made a teleportation circle.
I can do that.
For example, if you made a teleportation circle,
That would give us the ability to go up and down.
You know, it takes a
That's all.
year to make a permanent teleportation circle, and teleportation circles only last the instant you use them, right?
That would give us the availability to make a teleportation circle to go up and down.
additionally, you're heading into the lair of a god.
Right.
Do you know what you've dealt with in a spire?
They do have things that that inhibit teleportation.
One must assume that it will be equivalent or worse down there. Doesn't help if you try to teleport and are sent to the void.
That would not be ideal. Very well. I do not know of any. I believe we are as equipped if we need to be, or we can be.
Very
Given
well then.
this
What
time
is
constraint.
what is your plan to enter? I will see if I can augment it in any way.
I believe you said there was a case of that Callahan and his crew, his people, have gone through.
Correct. They are trying to find a way down there.
Would it not be possible to enter that case of some, or to enter the location of the previous, for lack of a better word, hive mind head?
Do you recognize how far away that is?
And I believe the previous instance caved in. Left.
That being essentially runs all throughout the Forbidden Zone.
Mm-hmm.
This is the part where its important bits are. Unless you think you're going to achieve great success communing with the equivalency of a toe.
Less a toe, more an eye.
It's still a toe.
Still a toe.
You've seen these things, they are all body parts at once.
My intention was to try to find a location to gain access to the god itself rather than
It's down that
fight
hole.
through. Then down the hole seems to be the only way to go. We have a couple things we can send in forward with us to try to blast things apart.
As I mentioned, we can scorch the area at the top. It will likely be able to gain you enough leeway to gain access to one of the tertiary passageways. You should have whatever it is you believe you need, have it ready, and get in there before it manages to swell up again. Initiate your telepathic communication with Callahan once you are down there. I understand that they have likely been a bit less talkative than normal. Effectively, there are competing hive minds. Communication is difficult, but if it's focused, I imagine they can manage it.
I see. Okay.
Happenstance has dictated that you are going to be very important on this mission, Jodak. So don't die immediately.
I will make the attempt to stay in one piece.
My backup plans that do not involve your special connection to this thing are a bit hazardous.
Dicey?
Said hazardous.
Hazardous. I see. I'll do the best we can. So we're even.
Does anyone have anything to add? Alright then. Finalize whatever preparations you want. When you are ready to go, we will position a small ship with whatever it is you're bringing over the hole, and then we'll drop it in.
Sounds good.
And they will make a gesture toward the door.
Oh. Believe.
Following Vashnir.
We all follow Vashnir.
Uh-huh. Go, little ducklings. Go. So finalize your shit. Tell me what you're doing.
How long do we
Everyone
have?
like to drink.
And do you have any? And if you have any things to comment to yourselves now, I guess now'd be the time. Amongst yourselves now.
Anything anybody want to drink?
I think drinking before a potential suicide mission would be frowned upon.
Take one drink before, and then we drink after.
You know that does nothing for me, right? It just tastes bad.
Have some tea.
Okay. That's what being completely immune to poison does. You can't enjoy that shit anymore. It's gone.
It's bringing a party of everyone who's immune to poison. Drinking means nothing anymore.
We have some like things.
Adjust your mic.
I forgot. Do we have some robot like machines with us?
I believe you have some automata amongst your ranks. For the most part, I think they just kind of live in your storage.
That'd probably be a good idea to use them.
That sounds like a good thing to bring along.
Grab them. Take both tanks or just one?
I think they're about a 5 or 6 person capacity.
Sounds like two. Seems like we won't be getting them back after this, though. Yes, no, maybe so.
Probably not.
As in, do we take them or no?
We should still take them both. Anything that could increase our odds. Even if you also take the men for men enough to pilot those tanks.
Yeah, Thomas doesn't know how to use them.
They're kind of dumb.
Like, as a noob.
They follow orders. They don't make new orders.
We have... How many of them?
How many automata?
I think it's 2 squadrons, so 100. If my memory serves. Because it was like 50 per squadron, because usually a squadron's... Well, whatever the usual squadron was, a squadron of automata is half of that. So if a squadron of regular peoples is 100,
Wyverns
then
were
automata
half
is
of that.
50. Well, I thought the automata were that as well.
I don't think so.
Are you sure about that? Because I'm pretty fucking sure they were. Because we...
I think it's 1-1.
Okay, so then we would have, however, whatever a normal
expensive
size
as fuck.
squadron is, we have 2 of those left. Because we had 4, we lost 2.
And one of your transport ships could absolutely just have 100 middlemen as cargo.
Yeah.
Quick reminder, they are infernal in nature, so they will have a passive fire thing around them.
Shit.
Okay.
How many do you want to take?
I'm more curious as to how you're balancing them with the tanks.
Well, you can't just have, rolling tanks. You always have your men behind it and defending as well.
Come up with your game plan. And given that if the only humanoids you're having are inside the tanks, that's a max of 10 or 12. Total.
Yeah. Both tanks being guarded or supported by one of us is also a good idea so that the creepy crawlies can't ooze their way into the crevices of the tank.
But the tanks are also infernal. So they have a slight fire thing about them.
Fair.
So everything is a slight fire thing about them. Do you remind the audience what does fire do against these worms?
It splits them into a billion pieces.
Everything you've mentioned has been shipped from Falud via Kinklecrat. It's coming from the same people that's got the same thing.
I'm sure if they're surrounded by all these things that have infernal things, they're gonna split until they just disintegrate, right?
Negligible particles? Yeah, especially whenever you don't need to worry about a bioform picking them up. When infection is not the problem, fire works really well.
Correct. The only problem is I do mostly radiant damage with my special attacks. That becomes a problem. That turns everything in there to a nuke. So I have to limit myself to my cold and my necrosis, and we'll see how good the dagger that is basically the same as your God Wars weaponry will work against them. I do not think that the worms can infect me, but last I checked, they can't.
From your reasoning, it's more a matter of squeeze them out before they have a chance to go somewhere that's a problem.
Correct. It just requires me to keep constant checking on my body, which won't be a problem. Also, Peon, I know you haven't said a whole lot. Your fire's going to come in very, very big handy.
Yay.
Just to let you know. Like they just mentioned, separating these things into negligible particles is going to be incredibly helpful.
I will do my best.
I mean, it's probably better to just kill them outright instead of making more of them.
But
I
if
mean,
we
I
can-
imagine smaller
if-
ones be easier to take out, though.
That, and if it's a constant flamethrower and the things that they split away from, when the one big thing splits into two things, if those two things are still in fire, and they split into four things, and those four things split into 8 things, and so on and so forth, eventually it's just going to split into nothingness. And it's not going to be a problem anymore.
But he could also just have PJ eat them.
That's
I'm not
a
sure
good
I
idea.
want PJ touching these, considering he goes inside of me.
Please don't
And
do
it was also already mentioned that me, the thing that I am, is not strong enough to just absorb this shit. Do you really think the little guy is stronger?
You can absorb it from Kieran himself. He didn't say anything about absorbing it from the worms.
Please
Just our
keep them
little
away from
wasp
PJ.
shoots.
What?
Yeah.
My nose is running.
What? What the fuck was that reaction?
That was a voice in Peon's head.
Oh shit! Can you please repeat because I didn't hear it.
Please keep them away from PJ.
The hag says to keep them away from PJ. So I'm not
Okay,
gonna do that.
good.
Also keep them away from me.
Okay. Will do.
How long do we decide to go in?
You weren't given a time, but like, people look tired.
I mean, it's on Vashnir's orders.
Right.
Hmm.
They can't infect me. I doubt very seriously they can infect Jodak. If you wreathe yourself in fire like the tanks, Peon, I don't think they're going to be able to infect you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you're going to manage Vashnir, but you always have, so I won't worry about it too much.
I feel I can take a squad. A good number of the automatons around me, and maybe the fire will protect me. And then if they get close, I could just, hopefully, smite away.
You could also just protect the tanks. I hate to delegate you to that point, but if we're worried about infection, you could also just protect the tanks, and then the tanks could protect you. Because I don't think the automatons are going to have to worry about it too much. Because the automatons are going to be there with the tanks. Overarchingly, at this stage, I think we've planned all we're going to plan. Let's just get down there and meet up with Callahan and fix this problem. And when push comes to shove, I'll fix my mistake myself. If need be.
Understood.
Is there any way, above game, Arik, is there any way to commune with that fucking entity that has infected me with this shit? I don't have anything like that. I don't have anything like that.
You have augury.
It's just gonna give me wheel or woe. Wheel and woe, I mean.
Well. Yeah.
It's not gonna give me wheel. It's not gonna give me just straight woe because of what we are. It's gonna give me wheel and woe. There's both good and bad things to do here. But I'll cast it, sure. I cast augury. I'm gonna ask the question. Fuck. I had it. Bitch. Can we handle the threat that is this? The immediate threat that is this infestation.
Uh,
Right. You got a better question? Because that's all I could ask.
I'm gonna use action tick. I'm gonna use my free use of Valkyrie that I've just keep in my pocket for far too long. I haven't had a need to use these. Also, I can't pull up my app anymore because it's out of date. So, oh well. Set of actions. Set of actions. Is it possible to absorb, or is it possible to? Will not Fashioner Tadori be corrupted if he absorbs one of these little worms things? Because that's the one. Absorbs, drains, necrotize it. It is. It would be a bad idea. I just felt like confirming before we got stuck in a loop. I'll see if I can find an updated version of the app, assuming they haven't gotten rid of it. Don't feel nefarious, please.
I think Augury is 1.
Augury specifically to find a set of actions that you're going to take in the future. It'll tell you if you get a good or bad outcome, or a good and bad outcome.
Hold, please. Receive an omen from an otherworldly entity about the result of a specific course of action that you plan to take within the next 30 minutes. The DM chooses from the following possible omens: wheel, woe, wheel and woe, or nothing. So it can just be nothing. Awesome.
My app no longer exists. It's been removed from the App Store. I was wondering why I can't pull it up. Oh well.
Possibly. No amount of divining divining specific types of intervention from the gods is going to save whatever choices we have to make in that hellhole. I suggest we just get started. We have a plan moving forward. We have plenty of things that are not going to get infected. And plenty of things on standby. And us. Possibly the mightiest force this planet, or plane, sorry, brain stopped, this plane has. Do we really need more than that? Are we going to stand around all day, or are we going to get this job done?
Let's get it done.
We've already divined the fates. They didn't answer us any fucking clearer than any other fucking bullshit. Let's go.
Something else we can do to prepare that wouldn't take too long. Far too long.
Every time you guys start to edge toward the continue thing, hold on, this is a point of no return. Notifier keeps popping up and you keep backing away from it. It's like, oh, hold on, wait a minute.
How long does crystal smithing take?
Longer than you have.
Okay. Yeah, nothing we can do.
I will say though, you finished your projects, in case the people that asked for projects haven't gotten their projects back.
I think I sent everyone the results of their project. That was so many weeks ago.
Does everybody have their stuff?
Yes.
Should be good.
Man, I feel like that's a question answered by the people receiving things, not the one giving them out.
I gave it to Bashnir. I gave it to Peon.
Just handing it out all over the place.
What you give me?
It was an improvement to your armor that you absorbed something, but I don't remember how much you absorbed from. Because it was like 4 weeks ago that I made it.
Mine says I absorbed 2d8 elemental.
He absorbs 2d8 elemental. He has the stuff. At least I think I gave you you do this much extra absorption.
I think you got a movement boost.
He did get a movement boost instead. Because he wanted me to mess around with Jade and the wind.
Oh yeah, plus 20 movement.
Whoa.
Well, if nobody says anything, I guess it's time to drop you.
Let's go. I've already said my piece.
I know, but
No amount of divining the stars, no amount of bullshit, no amount of whining about it, no amount of going around it or playing it off or pretending it's not there is going to help. Get the fuck in, get the fuck out. Deal with the mistakes we made.
I mean, I agree. Yeah.
Crazy to think about it being a mistake that we made.
kinda. Alrighty then. Vashnir, tell me about your loadout. What's your sacrificial ship loaded with?
Going with the tanks, automatons. We're taking more than one ship.
Say what?
We're just taking the one ship.
Yeah, you're getting one ship.
Alright, I guess we're gonna go with the 2 tanks. We go with just 2 sets of automatons.
If
Go
you
with all
want.
3. 200 to be fine then. And then, what else? Who's competent enough with a tank just to be safe?
Just some random orky boys, some dwarves. What you doing here? What's the compliment? How many other souls are going in there with you? Because I imagine most of you, since you are not made of metal, would be riding in the tanks.
Yeah. I guess each of us would have at least, this can be split up a little bit. I'm pretty sure some of the doors want some revenge. The ones who aren't infected.
Oh, also Lucas is staying up top. Unless you tell him not to. They are at your disposal.
This is
And that's also
our
my
fucking
bad.
peak
I forgot
thing.
that they were there.
This is our fuck up. I'm sure he'd prefer to stay.
Like I should have been interjecting against myself while y'all were being silent. And now I feel bad.
Probably best for the orcs to stay since they would, get out and fight things. Not be confined to a tank. So we'll go with dwarves. Like a backup driver for each, just in case. When they're down in the holes fighting, have them up there to just help maneuver, just in case.
So, 6 total dwarves on top of the 6 of y'all, if we include Luke. Because then it's 3-3,
Whoever-
3-3.
I was gonna say, however many it takes to fill the tanks.
3-3,
I'm not gonna
3-3.
be in a tank. I don't need to be in a tank.
Well, they don't need to sacrifice an extra person.
No, correct. Overarchingly, I guess whatever Vashner says is what we'll do. I don't care. Just let's get it done.
I'm trying.
Not you. I'm good. Yeah, no.
We're gonna go with just the amount we need.
Okay. As you guys are loading things onto this little sacrificial ship, a runner will find you, Jodak, and hand you what appears to be a glass orb filled with something swirling that's inky and black. I was told to hand this to you and that you would know to use it at the right time.
Do you know what it is?
No,
What is it?
I don't know. And I was also told to remind you to actually use it and not try to save it.
Flowy orb full of flowy.
It
What's
looks,
the description of this orb?
it looks kind of like a nebula.
Okay. Thank you. I'll be sure to use it.
They will give you a slightly confused nod and walk away.
Gonna weigh in my back, make sure I know exactly where it is.
Uh-oh.
I know someone walked in. Make sure you guys like and comment on the video. Give Arik compliments. Tell him he's doing such a good job.
Apologies. Was anything said toward me in the last minute? Two?
No.
Anybody say anything in the last minute or two?
I got
spoke
called
to the
away.
audience.
Ah.
By his
Sounds like-
shield.
Sounds like everybody's here though?
I'm alive.
As
Yes.
far as I'm aware.
Okay.
We have 30 minutes.
Hey man.
You're an all-star.
That's hey
Get your game
now.
on.
Alright.
Go play.
You get this small sacrificial ship loaded up. It is a bit cramped with all you've brought on there, but I don't think that'll matter too much. I don't think it matters too much to all of you. It will fly over the main bombardment zone, and then you will see the intensity of each of the bombardments from the ships increase exponentially until you can feel the heat from where you're currently standing, and then they will all simultaneously stop. At which point in time, the ship's engine will cut out. And it will go plummeting down into this hole. You guys are in a tank, which absorbs a lot of impact as the ship begins to smash itself at the base of the cavern that it lands in. It's go time. Do what you're gonna do.
So what's the plan, Vestner?
In the driver's seat, piloting the tank towards the cave entrance.
Smashing the tanks forward. Alright, whomever's driving those, make a vehicle check. Which, in this case, unless you have something for land vehicles, you can use either dexterity or wisdom.
Well, I'm not. These.
I actually have land vehicles for some reason.
Cool.
Very well.
Folk hero. Folk hero or soldier. What background do you pick?
Probably soldier.
Was it noble? I thought it was noble.
Well, he's both.
Aren't you a noble?
He is a noble, but they're raised in combat.
Oh, that's fair. I don't remember if it's soldier or folk hero that gives you land
It's
vehicles. It may be both.
irrelevant. Make your checks.
21.
Is the dexterity? Or which one?
Well, if you already have it, then just use whatever's on there.
If you have land vehicle proficiency, then use your land vehicle proficiency.
It's just...
Otherwise, it's a flat check.
It's labeled under tools, so I don't know how that works.
You don't have a plus next to it, do you?
Okay. Guess I'm soldier. Tools, playing card set, smith tools, and vehicle land.
But you don't have a plus on your land vehicle thing to tell you what you're adding.
No.
It
Okay.
should just be his proficiency modifier, no?
Well, it's a stat. Every tool is based off of another stat. That's why you can make a base kit check without being good at the kit.
Fair.
I'm hovering over it, it just says soldier.
Just add either your dexterity or wisdom and your proficiency bonus.
Alright. Uh, 8. 23.
You got a 23, the other person that rolled got...
It was 20 something that Thaddeus said. I don't remember what.
I got 21.
Okay. So then you push the tanks forward. You crash out of that thing's loading bay. And begin forging a path down this thing's dark hallway. It's very dark, but the tanks are naturally illuminated. So you can make out some reddish light all around you. The cavern itself... It looks constantly wet, as though someone had dunked obsidian in oil and used it to form everything around here. But you proceed forward. As you are doing so, from some of the sides, you begin to see some goo kind of slop off and begin to make shapes and forms that begin to encroach upon you. Who does what?
I'll say that again.
You're being attacked. What you doing?
How fast do these tanks move? Are they fairly agile? They're kind of slow and chunky.
Tank is a tank. It's got a decent tilt to it, but it's tank.
Some tanks can move, I'm just saying.
It can move, it's just... It's not the height of acrobatics.
What is attacking it?
Some goo creatures from the wall. They slurped off and formed some bioforms.
Big, small?
Larger. Big.
Take some evasive maneuvers. I get a good angle on it and fire.
Okay, sure. Make another vehicle check.
We're in the hole now, so can I contact Callahan like I was told to do?
You can begin the link.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I was looking it up. It counts as a total stop efficiency check. And it's just DM's discretion.
I have told you how to do it. Please do what I said.
I just didn't want to. I was like, am I going crazy? Because I'm trying to find a stat for it.
Tools never ever have like this is actually how you're supposed to do it. But you know that things are affected by stats because everything's affected by stats. It's how the game works.
Yeah. Like, hey, look, I got the thing in it. Is that a... What is that?
So
That's
that
a
will-
dirty...
Go on.
Oh, wait, I did that wrong. That's 21. Dirty.
Meanwhile,
20.
Jodak, who was piloting the other tank, you two are in the pilot seats. Changing that would be difficult. You begin your connection, and as a result of that, you begin to see like almost an ethereal line showing you which way to go. So now you shouldn't get lost. Now you rolled a what to try to get this thing the
It
fuck
was
up?
21 total.
21 total? Okay. You initiate the defensive measures on the thing. Everybody else kind of hears a bit of a whir as this ball of flame juts from this vehicle that you're all in and slams into one of these larger creatures. It does cause it to split into a few smaller creatures, but I'd say the main problem here is your automatons are likely to be caught up in this. As it currently stands, even if the tank can just kind of push the fuck through. Who does what next?
Until it becomes a problem, I'm just gonna stay in the tank, apparently.
Okay, cool. That is not a thing to be doing. And by that I mean, It doesn't help me here.
Once like proper threats that the tanks are having an issue handling, I'll get out and deal with them. I guess.
You command the automatons. They're at the open the hatch and yell outside.
I mean, I think the easy thing is clear all the goo from the tunnels that we're entering, so you don't have to order them around any further.
Their current command is help you push through.
Which is basically what I just said, but yeah.
Huge.
So if you're going to change commands, they would have to be able to hear it. And yelling from inside of a tank's kind of hard. Unless you have something to fix that.
Do nothing.
How hard would it be to pop the lid on this tank to poke my head out
Not.
and do something? Not?
Though you are also driving, so please keep that in
I'm
mind.
also driving. Yeah. How many good creatures are there?
At the moment, there's really quite a lot, but what are you trying to do?
I was gonna poke my head up, activate my stone, and just throw poison bolts at them.
I feel like there are better options to do that.
Are there?
Yes, like Peon.
But they don't do poison.
No, they do
They
fire.
do fire.
I make them smaller. That's what I was thinking about doing.
Yeah, poison just kills them outright, which is why I wanted to do this.
Yeah, but then you're trying to out-damage them, as opposed to make them irrelevant. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just
So-
gonna throw a scorching ray out the window. Make these guys a little tinier.
Okay. Adding to making them smaller, just make a spellcasting check.
Making me pull a dice out of it.
I'm making you pull out the least amount of die possible for the action you just said.
Ridiculous. 21.
Okie dokie. And the level was second?
Yeah, because it's coming from a ring I have.
Okie doke. So 21 wisdom spellcasting fire on this thing. Pow pow pow. The other large one has now been turned into significantly smaller bioforms. Left to the automatons, they can probably get it, but it will slow them. You guys can just brash through. They're not big enough to stop you anymore. Anybody else?
Do you think another cannon blast would pop them down even further?
See what?
Do you think another cannon tank shell would cut them down even further?
You think so?
I think so.
Well then try.
Then I would like to try it.
Make it a vehicle check.
Vehicle check. I don't have proficiency. So, 17.
Alright. Roll it up again. And this beam of fiery energy goes across them. They are now significantly smaller. They're still going to delay the automatons, but it will be for significantly less amount of time. Is that the end of what you guys are trying to do to help this particular situation out?
Sounds about right.
Alright. Scorch marks on the wall. You charge forward. Some of the stuff squishes underneath your treads. And then You see the automata have to kind of force their way through it. They're a bit further behind you guys now, but it doesn't look like anything's stopping their march. Continuing forward, Jodak, you're getting directions. And
Oh! Hey! So I forgot that a thing I can do does poison and or acid damage.
here.
I can only do it as many times as I can roll a 5 or a 6. But I'm gonna clear the way in front of us with some acid. Once we get bogged down again. With my 60-foot cone breath weapon.
Well, that there's a preemptive thing, and you'll get to talk about what that whenever another one actually stops you.
Okay.
Jodak, you see the line go into a side tunnel, and the angle suddenly turn very steep.
I want to make sure I'm leading the way. Fashion's in the other one. We don't have a easy way of communicating, so I want to make it.
You're
obvious I'm
psychic. Shut the
slowing
fuck
down.
up about no easy way of
Right.
communication.
I forgot. I'm psychic. Hey, slow down. We gotta go down the steep hill this way. I'm just gonna slowly take the hill, just so we don't go launching.
Vehicle check.
Natural 20
Cool.
for 24. I think.
As your treads impact this, you immediately recognize that it's that same light powdery coating that one tunnel had back way long time ago. And almost frictionless, your tank begins to slide down it. You, however, manage to keep control of it. But Vashnir's right
Be
behind
careful. I'm giving him forewarning. Be careful. Floor is slick.
you. As
Look
you
like
see
powder
Jodak
slick.
fucking down a tunnel. Vashnir, check for you.
Alright.
Jodax is in front. It seems to me that Jodak and Peon are in that tank.
That's going to be 19.
Okie dokie.
I'll share a tank with Jodak.
So I'm guessing that the other one is Vashnir, Tadori, and Lucas.
No. Because Adori and Lucas can't touch each other and they're cramped in the tank.
Fair enough. Then both Fireboys are in the same location. So then the other one's Vashnir and Tadori. Okie dokie. Vashnir, as you hit this slope, it's a little bit fucking treacherous. But you do not careen into Jodak's tank. As you find somewhere to kind of level out there at the bottom. You are now coming into a much larger cavern. You see that the path kind of curves upward along a rise. It's going to be difficult to get the tanks through there. It's like thin. So you might have to really fucking go for it. But the main problem is from various bits and pieces on the wall, you can see that these thin strands of goo are crisscrossing the entire area. Behind you, Vashnir, you hear a clunk as the first automaton hits the rear.
Tum.
Who does what?
So a bunch of how does it just keep going down the cave?
It is this
Or is it
entire
just like-
cavernous area. It looks like, because I'm sure Jodak communicating this. The path that Jodak has is, it seems like they kind of found an area they could hike up and then went into a different passageway.
Okay.
But all throughout this thing, it's essentially spiderwebbed with black silk.
Can we push through it with flame, or?
You can try whatever you want to try. Currently, both tanks are staring at the situation as a pileup forms behind Vashnir's vehicle. Calm.
How much ammo do each of these things have?
Magic, shut up.
Cool. Magic. Fire a shot into the webs.
Any particular direction or
Okay.
just in it?
Just in it.
Alright. You don't need to roll. It goes pew! Impacts a bunch of the threads along it, at which point in time they fall down, and you begin to see the top of this cavern kind of begin to quake.
Oh. Don't destroy the webs. Got it.
How the fuck are we not supposed to destroy the webs when we have to drive through this thing?
Is there a pass through?
If you weren't in a tank.
If you were in the tank, we can just get up and walk now.
But then you'd be leaving your
Awesome.
tanks. You don't want to leave your tanks. Tanks are tanks.
Tanks are the tanks.
Awesome.
Can I see, sense, how far this webbed area goes?
Especially with your last bolt illuminating the entire thing. This is a very large cavern. So it goes to the end of where your blast went, and then you can't really see beyond. I guess theoretically what you're asking for is a perception check, right?
Yes,
You should probably roll that.
I guess. Perception is not something Jodak off. 24.
Okay, 24. Nothing's broken, nor does it look like this place is easy to collapse. So if you were worried about the strands holding up the cavern, that's not it.
Hey, what's up? Hey, poke my head outside real quick.
What?
You
I
can
need
maybe
to
the
poke my head outside real quick.
Open the hatch. Bloop.
No, I mean like outside.
No, but outside is stinky. It makes the quality go down.
No, I'm gonna be right back. I just need to shine my light outside. I don't know if there's a pack of dogs in my yard or not.
Alrighty. Faster, Glasgow.
I need to make
bacon.
sure that I try. Yep.
You think you can cut out the cone in that direction?
Who are you asking?
To Dory.
What do you need from me? Sorry.
Can you think you can cut out the cone from out of the webbing in that direction? It's probably connected to something. Something alive. It can feel whenever you cut it. So I want to cut as few threads as possible.
I can cut out 60 feet in front of us in a cone shape. That's about it. But I can't do it reliably, consistently. Well, I can, but it just takes me a minute.
Anything else might take? Can I cut one of the strands with sword? Just real quick.
Okay, you take one of your blades, I'm assuming one of the magic ones.
I'm taking the magic one that does necrotic stuff.
Okay. And you slash it
Just a
across
tape.
one of the threads. It snaps and falls limply to the ground. And then the longer end shoots back away, and the shorter end shoots back toward where it was. And then you kind of feel another slight rumble.
We
Oh,
gotta
no.
cut through it slowly, or we can do your plan with the breath weapon of mine. It's up to you.
I'm telekinetic. Can I use a mage hand to just move the strands?
It goes boo-loo-loo-loo.
But they do move out of the way, and they
Well,
just...
it goes boo-loo-loo and it doesn't break, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
It doesn't stay where you moved it, it returns to where you touched it from.
Yeah, but I was wondering if we can just slowly move strand by strand to just make a path.
There's a lot of strands.
God, that would take so
It
fucking
would take
long.
ever.
We do not have that kind of time.
Then feel free to destroy it all. Something
Understood.
is going to see it or feel it and come up here, but
Bring it. I'm gonna breath weapon in front of us.
Okay.
Acid damage.
Taking the path that Jodak pointed out, you proceed to do so. That's charisma based, right?
I believe so. Hold on.
Duck seems to be fine.
No, it's a deck save, so that's all
But
it says.
the thing determining the save DC is charisma based, right?
I'd have to assume it just says deck save of 22
Okay.
when my save DC is 17.
So then that's divinely based. Understood.
Yeah.
So in this case, let's make a charisma check to see how well you're communicating with your divine element.
Okay. One moment, please. I forgot to open the dice roller. Because I've been going back and forth between the character I'm making for the other game and this one.
not ready yet. And it hasn't been announced.
I don't care. It's been announced now. Woo. That button. Awesome sauce. So charisma base, that is a 22 total.
Okie dokie. You insert damage type.
Acid.
Melt everything between you and the destination that Jodak points out.
Eventually.
As you do so, the rumbling intensifies extremely. And a massive goo comes from the other end of the cavern.
Heon, you're up. Burn that bitch. And he's asleep. Or going to sleep.
I mean, at 10:30. I didn't know if I wanted to stop here.
Trying to get you guys to Callahan. I know, I'm sorry.
I'll throw some fire at the dude. I'll do another scorching ray.
Pew pew. Make the wisdom check, but I will say it's not going to do too much.
Should I roll the d6 to see if my breath weapon's back?
Sure.
It is.
A natural 20.
Whoa.
20 total?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So you blast off in that direction as it's starting to try to form a shape, and you do impede its process to form that shape, but it's still trying to make a shape. But the pathway is clear for the tank drivers.
Hopping in the tank, driving through. Try to get our way in as fast as possible.
It's just kind of a matter of beating it there.
I'll acid 20d12 it.
You mean you'll make
Needs to
another
make a dex
charisma
save.
check? Is what
Okay.
you'll do.
Okay. d20. That's a natural 20, fuck off.
For a total of...
25, I know.
Okay.
Unless there's proficiency involved, which I know there isn't.
And your pilot check there, Jodak and Avashir.
19.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, 2, 3, 4, 26.
So 26 and a 19.
I've never driven a tank in my life.
Apparently you were born for it. You proceed forward. You do get in front of Jodak's vehicle, though. As you proceed into the cavern, Jodak, yours isn't far behind it. As Tadora, you let loose just a gush of acid in that thing's direction as it is trying to form another shape, delaying it more. Your automatons are running. They aren't the fastest. It looks like this thing is about to start being a very big problem for them.
You lose tank shot.
You're facing the wrong
Okay.
way.
You're right.
Oh, it doesn't have a swiveling head.
It's more like a troop carrier than it is with a gun than it is a tank. Tank.
Okay. How narrow is this thing we're driving on?
Not so narrow that you couldn't pass us.
Well, that was before you get in the actual tunnel.
Yeah.
Once
Well, I
you're in
don't know if I
there,
could
it's
just,
basically a tank
pop
and a
this thing in
half.
reverse real quick, fire off a round, and then make it flip back.
I think it'd have to be somebody else's thing to do something at this point. You're in it. Unless you want to hop out.
Gotcha.
I don't know how big of an explosion it would be if I fucking hit it with radiant damage.
And let's take out all of our automatons.
Well, it's gonna do that anyway, is the fucking problem. Our automatons are not going to be able to escape.
And probably destroy the cavern. Called the cave-in.
How far away is that thing from us?
Encroaching. If you're trying to do something, just tell me.
I have my magic deck flame bolt and blaster.
I don't think that's gonna make a difference.
Okay, I could That's the only thing I got to like shoot at it with.
You also have all your stun abilities.
Yeah, that's the problem. All of my stone abilities do radiant damage, and that creates nukes, and I really don't want to fucking do that right now.
It's ice.
And it won't get mad if I don't like go up there and whack it.
It'll absolutely get mad. That is not.
I'm saying like if like one of my abilities go and hit it.
You can do whatever you decide to do. Just do it.
Pop the hood and throw my spears at it.
So you activate your form.
But I'll activate a form, tell the guy to take control.
Okay. So Tadori, or one of the other dwarves in your tank, I guess, because now you're both
Yeah.
outside.
Well, I was in Jodak's tank apparently.
Yeah, I think that became Lucas because Jodak went no,
Oh.
don't touch each other.
Yeah, so I have that one or the other in mind.
Okay, one of the dwarves takes over. You pop out. The cavern flashes light blue, and then a butt ton of icy javelins are heading straight toward this thing.
9.
I would consider that a butt ton. Just make probably a strength check, because that's what your abilities go off of, right?
I believe so.
Make a strength check. And you're about to make a new discovery. Hooray!
I don't like how that sounds. That is a dirty 20.
Okie dokie, 20 total. But the thing is, That's a lot of ice damage. The thing begins to slow itself as the bits and pieces of it freeze and are unable to liquidly form the creatures that they're trying to form. And as you are watching your automata scramble up into the tunnel that you guys are going through, Vashnir, you don't feel like you're in a rush. As in, the energy from the stone does not seem to be dissipating as it normally does.
Huh.
Huh.
That's a big fucking huh.
What you
That's a
do?
real big fucking huh.
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 Hmm.
Does that mean like he's lacking a time limit? Or like he didn't expend a charge to throw his spears?
He definitely expended one of his uses.
Okay.
One of the uses is expended, but he doesn't have a time limit of being in form.
That's what I got from it.
I mean, that's helpful for those who can do cold, fire, and poison damage. It's not so helpful for me.
You're also not tier 5.
Motherfucker! What?
Loser.
Awesome.
Imagine not being tier 5.
Awesome. Don't know what I did, but okay.
Good.
Who does what? Jodak, the tank being driven by random dwarves, is now in front of you. Vashnir, a majority of your automata have made it into the cavern. You can probably zip over them if you want. To get back in
Yeah.
your tank.
I just got a lot of colder in the tank, didn't it?
Oh yeah. He's chilly now.
Does that mean I can just activate this at will?
You can experiment at any point in time, though I wouldn't suggest now.
I should stay cold. It's not unbearably cold for the people inside, right? Because it's kind of hot. It just evens out.
They'll be fine. I'm assuming you're not trying to freeze their blood.
No.
Anyway. Just zooming ahead.
As long as the automatons can get past the fucking creature.
A majority of them have
effectively
made it
stay
in,
front of it.
but you don't know how long they're going to stay in front of it, is the problem.
I will continue to do my best efforts to slow that fucking thing down.
Okay. Make another charisma check as it begins to thaw.
Oh wait, I can just keep throwing the ice breath thing that every stone gives us.
Yeah, it's your basic magic attack.
Yeah, I can just keep doing that. Just keep freezing it.
It's totally going to affect it, but it's not as powerful as your spears are.
I know,
Nine-
but it's just
19.
enough to where we can get the rest of the. If
Yeah, I
there's
got
still
you.
more automatons, I can.
19 acid damage.
Okie dokie,
Or
you do
19,
that. Go on.
19 on the check. It's going to be acid damage
Don't give me a
again.
damage number. Okay.
I didn't roll the damage. I can roll the damage number. Don't tell me what to do. You're not my mom.
He could be.
I'm older than him.
And
And he's here.
The fuck does that mean?
I don't know on that one. I really don't know what that one means.
It wouldn't surprise me if you invented a time machine and used it just to go back in time to pretend to be psychic. It would explain a lot.
Anyway, it appears that the one tank is just being driven by dwarves. Jodak, not Jodak, Vashnir and Tadori are attempting to blast this bit of creature that's heading towards you guys. Tadora, you blast it what good. Vashnir, you're making it chilly. And it begins to form a larger humanoid shape. But you are delaying it.
Fuck yourself, you big bitch.
Most of the automata are through it. They're heading into the tunnel along with those two. In the tunnel, Jodek, you can't really see much. There's a tank in your way.
Can I just send the image of the path to the driver of the tank?
Well, the problem is your eyes, it goes to the end of the tank and then you can't see.
Oh, I see. And there's tank, so blind sight is not helping me at all.
Correct. Fucking other people do this all the time, even her eye.
Even.
Okay. You can see the line again, because the other guys took a wrong turn.
Awesome.
Stop, turn around, come back this way. Send the message before they get out of range.
They start reversing.
I'm gonna go ahead.
Beep, beep, beep.
You're gonna take point again.
Yeah.
Stay the fuck behind Jodak if we don't know where the fuck we're going.
They couldn't do anything about it.
Well, now you fucking can.
The creature turns really big and proceeds to threaten upon you. Are you going to engage in an active combat, or are you going to head down the tunnel?
We need to group up with Callahan.
So we're heading down the tunnel.
You're already down the tunnel. You're not part of this question. Only those two are, because they're standing there going, bring it, nerd.
I was just trying to slow it down so we can get the rest of the automaton.
Yep.
That was the big thing. Just get the automatons in to keep them from like fucking dying, because we don't want to lose one of our mightiest fighting forces.
So as
How
this
fucking
thing,
likely it is Philport's going to give us more.
so as this thing turns real big and tries to initiate combat, you guys say no, fuck that, and head into the tunnel.
More or less, yeah.
It does shove its arm in there after you, but it cannot reach. Then the fingers go. Yeah, then the fingers go limp, and the shape begins to warp and form something else anew. But you're all just basically running backwards and saying no the entire time.
Just Mega Man blasting backwards.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Fuck off, you big bitch.
Jodak, you now are coming forward, and you see a solid wall of goo that the line is going straight through.
The solid wall of goo. I can do nothing about it besides shoot it, so I'm gonna shoot at it so everyone else can see it.
Check. Make.
Vehicle?
Yes.
23.
It go, and you see it impacts on a force wall that the goo is attempting to cover and surround. And before the goo manages to come back down and completely envelop it again, you see some people in there.
Hello. You got another one of those breath weapons and breath attacks in you?
I do.
Well, the door is way in the back of the line. You guys kept going this entire time. They are going at the speed of your slowest automaton. Right?
Which is to say, all the automatons. But yes,
They're not. Well, some of them have a little bit worse knees than the others.
they're automatons.
And you didn't treat them right. No weekly WD-40 sessions.
We weren't in charge of that. We had a guy for that.
Yeah, and you think they had any idea what the fuck they were doing?
Yeah.
They tried to wash him
because
like
they
4
came-
times.
Yes, because they came with fucking filberts.
No.
Like the whole
Gilbert
thing.
never gave you any people. He gave you units.
I gotta go kill that fucking gnome.
He has only been of assistance.
As much assistance as he is needed.
Anyway. Does front group have any thing for what's going on there?
I'm tired.
I mean, it's just people.
People inside of a force dome.
That our path is currently leading us to.
I mean, talking their brains, dude. I mean, you can see in my madness all you need.
Hey, how you doing? You look like you're in a bit of trouble.
He was about to say spot a bother. Ha!
Don't call me out. I was indeed about to say spot a bother.
Clear out the goo long enough for you to get inside and we'll bring the wall back up.
So judgmental, so demanding.
He started it with, "Hi, how are you? Seems like you're having a tough time." Shut the fuck up, we all know.
You got anything clear into goo? I'm saying to the people in my tank, which includes you fire god aspect, dude.
The problem with that is mine isn't exactly friend or foe friendly, it just burns everything. Still utilize it if we don't have a better idea, but from what I understand, beyond May.
I mean, we just gotta get rid of goo all around. I'll pop a stone. And how big is this goo area I need to clear?
It looks like the dome that they're talking about is probably 40-foot diameter. The issue is that it seems that the goo is coming from all around and enveloping it in a larger cavern.
Got it.
As Peon's armor ignites around him.
I'm just trying to figure out what would be the best thing to do. I'll pop a tier 3. Get my fire squirrel out.
Insert demonic chittering.
All of them use the. It's called Blaze. It's a 80 or a 60-foot radius thing.
That is in fact larger than 40 feet.
It is. It's a deck save, right?
It's
Who
failing.
needs deck saves?
Just make a highest ability modifier check. Just see the percentage of it.
23.
Okie dokie. As the squirrel begins to engulf the area in flames, there is a moment where it is all clear and hasn't yet flooded in from the other tunnels yet. They drop the dome and motion for everybody to get in there as quickly as possible.
You're doing exactly that.
I do that, yeah.
Jodak, Vashnir, you can see flames in front of you. Reflecting off the walls.
Jodak?
He meant you, James. It's alright.
I know what he did. I just wanted to call him out on his fuck up. Push forward.
Are you still staying behind the slowest unit?
Fuck. They'll be fine in the fire. Are we saving them or leaving them? Right now. Fashionir.
Say what we can.
That's not an answer.
Leave them, if we can.
That's literally both answers. I guess we're staying behind the slowest one still.
I think it's if you can get them in, get them in. If you can't, leave them behind.
Jodak, you get your tank parked. It looks like they have a small hole near the center of it, around about the size for a couple people to be able to go through. I'm assuming you go into hole?
I was muted, sorry. Yes, I go into the mall. Into the hole.
Okie dokie.
The mall? Oh, shit. It's fancy down here.
Going
He's buying
shop.
new shoes.
But you head in, and the
There's goo all over it.
frontmost automatons also head inside. Inside there is a larger pathway that can actually fit all of you people in there. Vashnir Tadori. There's a lot of goo ahead of you. It's coming in from the sides. That's gonna be a very big problem unless you have something to stop it.
I summon my men.
Okay. Your ICUs.
Yes. I got 10 of them. I shall wait.
I'm gonna do the Elias damage so they can slow things a bit. So, assuming you're sending them forward, are you doing anything about this thing back here? Or sending them all forward?
I can do 644 back.
Okay, that probably isn't enough to really stop the things forward.
Okay, I shall send enough forward. What is it? 8 then? 8 forward, 2 back?
Okay, that's a little better.
Fashionir, just get
Yes.
to the hole. I've got this.
I can still move while they act.
That's fine. Get the fucking automatons to the hole. I've got this. You can't help me with what I'm about to do. You'll
Alright.
die. Go.
Okay.
Yeah. And as you're passing by, you do see that one of them is attempting to cast something. They're in the process of it. It's not done yet.
One of the goo things?
No, one of the people.
Good things don't cast.
I was unsure.
The Goo Wizard.
Arik.
I'll just walk up to him.
Hello.
As soon as... Oh, sorry. You're in character.
What you casting?
The wall back.
We got like another guy out there though.
We
He'll
need
be in
to
soon.
have this ready, otherwise we're all going to die. It's not a thing we can wait on.
Fair enough.
As soon as I see Vashnir, because I can see them gathering in the center there. As soon as I see Vashnir get close enough to that spot, I'm popping my stone and I'm dealing a shit ton of radiant damage to everything around me.
Okay. Give me a check,
Yes, sir. Wait,
should
why do I
probably-
need a check?
because I said so.
Okay.
Highest ability
Cool.
modifier check. It's literally the best thing you could ask for.
Yay, it's charisma. I keep opening the fucking sheet that isn't done yet. It's
Don't do
technically
that.
not the high. Math in my brain is not working. 17.
Okay. Alright, probably about a little over half of the automata have gone through whenever Tadori blazes white and begins to just burst out at everything near him. They're using an ability or just, like, hitting things? Because those are two very different things.
I'll fucking... See, I don't understand how it would work if the creatures that move took the radiant damage, so my tier 4 ability, but either way, I'll use my tier 1 and do the fucking... No, not the tier 1. Is it the tier 1? Yeah, that's, my tier 1's the, fucking... Beam Strike. Orbital
Okay.
Beam Strike.
So a tier 1. Understood.
Yeah. It still does a decent chunk of fucking damage.
I know, but I have to.
No, you get you. I get you.
But okay.
Because the only other one would be creatures that move within 60 feet of me take 50 radiant damage.
Everybody currently trying to get into the escape hole down there just sees the flashes of white coming from Tadori. Tadori, you see the energy you're letting off begin to enter into these creatures and, like veins, shoot across them.
Seen this before. God, I'm hoping that fucking quarter damage is gonna really save me here.
Who's doing what?
I'm gonna... If that doesn't seem to be enough, I'm gonna hit him with a tier 4.
Okay. Make another check. Regardless of them about to be explode or not, they're still decidedly getting closer to that hole. They need to put that shield up, just so you know. But tier 4, make your check.
25, not 20, if it matters.
Alright, it doesn't really.
Didn't think so. Just had to say.
But
That's
the fact that it's tier 4, kind of a lot.
Yeah.
As the luminescence granted by the veins intruding upon all these creatures begins to glow very brightly.
If I can see whoever's putting up the force field, I might tell them to, put it up. Like now.
Yeah, go ahead and put it down, dude.
Hey, are you leaving Tadori outside? Because there's a certain point where it just turns into...
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm making my way to it. I'm just going extremely slow, making sure that Vashnir makes it there before I do.
Vashnir's there.
Okay, then I'll bust.
You have
ass
some
to the fucking
automaton, because, they run. But
I'm sorry, but I'm not. It's a fucking robot. I don't give a fuck.
that's fine. I'm just telling you.
I have 80 foot of fly speed movement. Fuck off.
You would like to go away from the big explosion.
Yeah, I'd like to get in the fucking hole. If
All right.
Vashnir's there and is safe, activate the fucking thing. I'm there.
Make an athletics check.
Yes, sir. Ooh, that's a good number. My athletics, I'm not proficient, but it's a +8, so 21.
Okay. You charge
God, I'm a
forward.
jack of all trades.
Your
It's awesome.
ability runs out. You crumple onto the ground. Get up. Don't get trampled by automata. Push your way through because, bye guys. And then get close enough. At which point in time, I'm thinking that probably Jodak, since he's standing there, and Peon are both going to be like, do it now. And then they're going to raise it. The automata that are still outside are going to look inside with their cold, soulless eyes. and then everywhere outside is going to turn white.
I'd close your eyes.
It's a little late.
Well, I wanted to say that before I got trampled by automaton.
No,
Damn it.
you got it too close.
Okay. This is fine. I don't
But as
care.
you're standing back up and everybody's blinking away the whiteness, you notice more goo begin to fill up around the area.
Huh. That was a waste of my talents.
I'm gonna assume my icy boys are destroyed.
They died in the explosion.
Yeah.
Did the big thing die in the fucking explosion?
Absolutely not. It cleared out the things that was immediately there, but by the time everybody could see again, there was more.
Damn it. It didn't just follow, because it does radiant damage as they blow up. It didn't just follow it back and blow up the whole fucking cave. That's what I wanted.
That is not what happened.
Damn it.
But as everyone...
Ugh.
You delayed like hell. So I'll say you lost half a unit. Which really ain't bad.
No.
But whomever's keeping track of that, keep track of that.
That's Fashioner's job.
But alright. As you all make your way into the hole that they have there, as once again this dome is encased with goo, we're going to go ahead and call session. We'll continue this the next time. It's Band of Iron. Goodbye.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
That's copyright. You can't say that.
Bye-bye.